Hi, everybody, and welcome to Who's the Bitch?
Welcome back.
Yes, come on in. Get your balls up. Get your fire started, I guess.
Oh, my God.
It's a fire starter here at Who's the Bitch. But no, we're not talking about the fires in SoCal. No, we're just talking about just in general, the fires of life, the zest of being alive.
The bitchy fires within.
Yeah, man. And I tell you, they've been raging recently.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It is quite the barn burner going on inside of this chest. But I think that's agita. But don't tell me to stop eating anything that's got, what am I not supposed to be drinking this much coffee?
I'm like Googling agita right now because I always thought, yeah, okay, this is my confusion. I always thought agita was just a feeling of anxiety or aggravation. I'd be like, I can't watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. It gives me agita.
Yes.
But it also can describe indigestion and acid reflux or an upset stomach. There's a difference between emotional and physical agita, and I didn't know that.
Whoa,
because I was always like,
learning it here first.
A couple people have said to me, like, oh, this gives me agita to eat that or something. And I go, wait, makes you nervous? Like, that's just not. It's like whatever's agitating. I understand that things can agitate your stomach, but I just think of agita as more of an emotional thing.
It is, and you know what it is, Kara, okay? It's emotional to not be able to drink as much coffee as I want to drink, okay?
I know.
I'm not supposed to have these things, and I tell my body, well, figure it out, because I'm not going to stop throwing it down the chute. So that's okay. You know what? Life is better this way with the kind of zest that you choose to put pain inside of your own chest. It's a chest zest, I guess.
It's a chest back to be a chest burner, everybody. Welcome back.
What makes you zesty in your chest? Everything currently going on in our reality?
I mean, at this point, we're taping this episode a little bit in advance, and what makes me zesty in my chest is obviously the main bitch from the hills, Spencer Pratt, running for mayor of LA.
Don't ever.
But by the time this episode comes out,
he will not be the mayor of LA.
By the time this comes out, we'll know if he even makes it into the primary.
Good Lord.
This is not the election for him to win. It's just for him to be included. Oh my God. And I just don't want this nonsense to last a few more summers. I want there to be a fair election between two qualified people and not a reality star. Have we learned nothing? Anyway, I cannot rant about this on another podcast. I feel like that is what's giving me agita lately, to be honest.
And this is why we talk about emotional and physical agita. We come here with our bittuations to process
We
the
come
agita,
to this place for processing.
Oh, God, does she look so great watching a movie by herself? Yes, she does. And I just tell you, the AMC Stubbs, it's the best cult that you can be a part of in this country right now, okay?
Stubbs.
Get rid of your other cults, guys. Get on to Stubbs.
All right. Before we start anything else, I want to get into just to our general bitchery, which is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. The bitchathon is tomorrow. It's on June 11th at 4 p.m. Western Pacific.
Yes.
And that is going to be at youtube.com/@who'sthebee. That's where all of our lives happen, and we're so excited to do a live bitchathon.
Come
where
hang out with us.
Take your calls live. If you've only just started listening to the podcast recently, you might not even know what we're talking about. We take calls live. We drink buzz balls. We have some fun guests come in to listen to some bitchiations with us.
Whether you want their advice or not, you're going to receive it. So please come hang out with us Thursday, June 11th, which is tomorrow if you're listening to this the day it comes out.
And it's fun to watch, but it's also fun to get into the chat.
Yes, and it's also fun that if you miss it, you can jump in and watch it after the fact as well. And that will still be up for you on youtube.com/@who'sthebee for your perusal at any time.
But we want you to join live if you can.
We want you
live. To call in if you've been a person that's like, oh my God, I have this situation, but I don't really have time to map it all out in an email or make a concise voicemail that's under 5 minutes. Then I'm just going to call in. And then that's great. Then we can either see your your beautiful face, or we can turn your camera off if you're embarrassed.
Give us the deets. Give us all the information.
Although
We're
you
hungry.
shouldn't be embarrassed. We're putting our faces on camera.
Yes, and think about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. If anyone's going to be embarrassed, it's the fact that all of them look exactly the same. Have I said it over and over again? At this point, I think I've watched 8 episodes, and I still am like, which one's that one? Which one's that one?
It's crazy because it's like we both watch Slow-Mo, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
And they really look all the same.
There are 2 of them that I did not figure out were different people until like
the second
6th
season.
episode. Okay. But it's like there's different shades of hair, there's different like heights. You can figure it out as time goes on. These Rhode Island women all have dark, brunette, long extensions. They're all tan. They all have Rhode Island accents, which are basically the cousin of Boston accents.
God, I love their accents.
And they're all just so similarly looking. It's so crazy. I've only watched the first episode, though, I'll be honest.
Oh, see, this is so funny. When when realities start to collide, everybody, because I've been watching The Real Housewives of Rhode Island, and I kept seeing Dolores, and I was like, oh, Dolores is from another reality show, but she's not the Real Housewife of Rhode Island. And I didn't understand why she was just showing up on Rory so much. And apparently, she's in Real Housewives of New Jersey, Dolores Catania. But I only knew her from The Traders.
Oh.
And that's why I was like, she's on a different show. She's not a Real Housewife, but I forgot she's one of the housewives
She's
on The Traders. You silly, beautiful woman, Jackie.
And Dolo, as they call her, she's the bridge. She's the reason that there's Rhode Island. Like they brought it in through her knowing a couple of people. She's cousins with one of them or something like that.
That makes so much sense. And I'm sucked into this world. I didn't think I'd give a shit about Rhode Island, Kara. And I'm sucked into them. I am obsessed with how half of them have known each other for a million years, so they know all of that's not what you said in high school. That's not what you said.
You haven't dabbled in New Jersey yet?
No.
But you're going to love New Jersey.
I know. There's so much.
If that's what you like.
Oh, I love digging up shit from a million years ago where they're like, you don't need to bring that up. You don't need to bring that up.
The first seasons of New Jersey are sister-in-laws, sisters, people that are married to each other's brothers.
It's not fair. There's not enough time in the world to watch all the Real Housewives I want.
But New Jersey will really do it for you.
Because, New York really has been doing it for me.
I know, but in New York, there's even still even though they are a little bit trashy, there is a little bit of oh, that's a nice,
classy.
That's a nice vacation. That's a nice apartment. That's a nice event that they're going to. New Jersey is just straight up we're doing fashion shows for boutiques that exist only in New Jersey. We're going to the main place. The main place they go is the Brownstone, which is an event space in Paterson, New Jersey. We're just not. Look, some people might think that's aspirational. Good for you. Good for you. We all have different aspirations.
Yeah, we do.
They have these massive McMansions that look like they were designed by by somebody on ecstasy or something like that. They're crazy. The architecture of some of these mansions, the houses are too big.
I need
Most of them are in foreclosure. It feels like it's just so different than the other ones. And I've always liked it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I tell people, if you really like this and that, you might not like New Jersey because it is a lot of women yelling with thick accents.
Yes, that's exactly what I love.
You're going to love it.
I forget, Kara, because at this point when this episode drops, we will already be in the villa. Are you an islander? I forget.
No, you just asked me on page 7 and I'm not.
And you're not an islander. And it is, so we're all entering the villa next week.
Oh.
And so by the time this episode drops, we'll be in the villa.
And is it the same as it's always been? Because I dipped into Love Island UK when it first came out. And then when I realized that it was 5 days a week, I was like, I absolutely cannot commit to this level of. The first time I watched the show, I was pregnant with Rosie.
Whoa.
And I was working and pregnant. And I was like, I just don't think I have time to do 5 days a week. But my brother was like, I love Love Island. I love the stuff they say. He loves linguistic things too, though. He loves when they have their little phrases hey, going up the spout with that guy, eh? Whatever. I know that's not a real thing, but you know what I'm saying? They love that. He loves that. So I was
that's why a lot of people prefer the UK.
Get into it.
Yes.
It was too much. The volume was too much. But I also like how stupid they all are.
Yes.
So are they equally stupid in the US?
Yes,
I have to imagine.
Of course. And honestly, a lot of people are like,
and then I like I'm a Mama. I'm a mommy.
Oh God, Huda, who just released her first single. Don't worry, we're gonna get the whole album from Huda, which of course it's coinciding with the drop of the new season of Love Island. And my issue, everyone tells me, it's like, if you love Love Island USA, you gotta watch the UK version. My problem is I don't pay enough attention and I don't understand them if
you have to like watch on subtitles.
I have to watch with subtitles because and also because, you know, they're all like shagging birds and kissing blokes, and I'm there for all of the idiosyncrasy, you know, all of the little like isms.
Yeah.
And I love that. But since I barely pay attention to what's happening on the show, I kind of have to. But last year was my first time entering the villa because I didn't celebrate summer last year.
Oh.
And so it was my first time devoting my summer to the villa. And then I realized, this is great. I don't see the sun. I don't have to deal with like a beach. I don't have to like enjoy the summer. I get to hide from the summer.
You see all these people with bikinis by a pool fucking each other.
And I'm watching it inside, alone in the dark, smoking
still
weed.
slathered in sunscreen.
Oh yeah, just in case the sun happens to peek through a window at me. And I realize I think this is how I want to spend every summer.
Oh my God. I can't imagine.
But you love summer, so that's the opposite.
Summer.
Yeah.
I have a sunburn right now. My legs are burned to shit.
I noticed.
Oh, the top of my feet?
The top of your feet were sunburned.
Top of your feet is the fucking, that is where.
Also, I burned my lips like 3 weeks ago, and then watching as your lips peel for 3 days because you burn your lips like a child. Don't forget to put SPF chapstick on too, everybody.
Yeah. That's never happened to me, but tops of your feet, fuck.
Yeah, dude,
they're so soft, the tops of your feet, and like just, I'm like wearing sneakers most of the time. It's like virgin skin. It's just
yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, that's why the bikinis are so scary, because then like what, my stomach is gonna get, yeah. No.
But wait.
Put on Love Island.
What about 90-day con? Did you hear about that? There's gonna be a 90-day con.
No.
Yeah, let me make.
Man, and can
everything
I just
say now, I go, let me just make sure that wasn't a joke.
I just want to say thank you to chat for my experience. Like, and when I talk about chat, I'm talking about I stream over at twitch.tv/oh no, it's Jackie. Come hang out with me over there. And I just want to say, chat has been keeping it alive for me that I need to go back to 90 Day OG, because apparently this season of 90 Day OG is a shit storm. And I gave up 90 Day OG because honestly, they just keep casting criminals to such an extent that I was like, I gotta stop watching this show. They're really not checking to see how much of a criminal these people are. And a lot of them are really creepy criminals. But apparently, this season is so good, you don't even care they're criminals.
They have yet to reveal the ticket prices or the dates or the locations, but you will have interactive fan experience. They're basically doing BravoCon.
They're doing BravoCon,
but they're doing it with 90 Day Con.
And that is so smart because there are so many different spin-offs, but where is it going to be, Care?
They're going to have to really figure it out because like BravoCon's in Vegas, and because I think that Bravo in a lot of ways attracts like women that are down to have like a weekend in Vegas.
Yeah, trash like me. Yes, thank you.
I feel, do you feel that Vegas is like maybe a little bit too pricey? Because it's pricey as fuck. Like I can't afford to go to BravoCon.
I can't go to BravoCon.
It's so expensive. So like, do we think 90 Day Con would have to be in, I don't know, Scranton, Pennsylvania?
It's going to have to be in Tulsa.
Like it's going to have to be just somewhere that like can accommodate it with enough hotels and everything, but is not like gonna be $600 a night for hotels and shit like that.
Oh
you know?
My God, Greenie. Holden and I watched 90 Day and so many of the offshoots for so long. Like, so I know a lot of them, and you know, a lot of them are still on these shows. But it is really crazy that apparently Holden was telling me that one of the people that we were watching on one of the final episodes that one of the final seasons we were watching, he was like, "Do you remember that guy?" And it's the only one that spells Jeffrey the way my husband spells Jeffrey, Geoffrey. And apparently he's like, "Watch." I think the show is called Worst Ex Ever, season 2, episode 2, that apparently is about the guy that was on 90 Day Fiancé that turns out he had all these horrible allegations out against him. And it's,
are you saying TLC didn't check?
What? They don't check for how much of a criminal all these people are? And it really is, it's scary. It's scary over there on TLC and who they're gonna cast.
All right. Now wait. Speaking of love in international places, let me get to this update that we have. This goes back to episode 63. Okay, this is episode 89. So about, 26 episodes ago.
Oh my God, so like almost a year ago.
Yeah,
well, half a year ago.
It would be
Less than
about 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I know how many weeks are in a year. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, guys.
So the writer wrote in and they're like, well, my friend Amy is invited to my wedding with a +1, but she invited her ex, Matt. Matt and Amy were together for about 6 months, but then Matt totally ghosted her. And then suddenly reappeared, and she had been really devastated. They talked about marriage and all this stuff, and then he reappeared, and she, the friend helped her through this heartbreak, and then after 10 long months of ghosting, he came back into the picture, and now she's like, and now she wants to invite him as a +1, friends only, to my international destination wedding.
What?
Okay, so we were like, ugh, that sucks, whatever. I don't even remember what our advice was. I think we were like, try to tell her that this guy,
not invited.
If you remember our advice, please tell me. I'm on too many podcasts. But the update is, you guys, an update for you. The truth will out. I am, sadly for my bestie, vindicated.
No.
Matt Dunn did it again. Remember how I said that Matt and Amy were operating as friends only? That didn't last long. Around the beginning of 2026, they started seeing each other exclusively, or so Amy thought. Turns out, Matt was seeing someone else exclusively. In late March, our other friend ran into them at the mall, having had dinner with Matt and Amy the night before.
Whoa.
Suffice it to say, Amy is over it. She ghosted Matt this time and hasn't talked to him since.
Thank God.
Good riddance, I say. I can't wait to enjoy the wedding even more now knowing Matt is back in the U.S., miserable and alone. Two-time invested.
Get out of our international wedding.
Get out of here.
I'm so happy. Again, we never want to be vindicated. I'm selfish. I'm wrong.
But
I'm
luckily,
right.
they only started dating in early 2026, and then this came out in March. Like, luckily, this friend of yours did not waste too much of her precious freaking time on this loser. But if you are dating a guy and he completely ghosts you and then comes back into the picture, I'm sorry, aside from I was in a coma, I was recruited by the government for a special undercover operation, no.
Oh my God, like a Captain America. Like if it's like a Captain America, we'd be fine with it.
And I'm not saying, my husband and I broke up for 6 months and got back together and got married.
But he didn't ghost you. Yeah, he didn't ghost you.
A ghost is psychotic.
Yeah.
To totally ghost someone and then get back into their lives
is crazy.
Guys
really
do it on online dating all the time. Sorry, work got crazy. Not a guy you've dated for 6 months and then talked about marriage and kids with.
Yeah.
No, when a person shows you who they are, believe them.
Mm-hmm.
Maya Angelou? Is that Maya Angelou?
Whoa.
Yeah. Believe them. Okay?
I think it's Kara. I think that was just Kara that said it.
That's the update.
Sorry, step aside, Maya.
That's just a PSA for everybody that's like, I don't know, then he showed back up and maybe now the timing's right.
Next.
No. Thank you. Next. Okay, Jackie, please read us our first submission for today's episode.
Hi, ladies. I've been listening since day one and love you both so much. Well, we love you right back. Okay, here's the situation. I've been cutting my hair at home since the pandemic. This wasn't a stretch since I went to beauty school, and although I was never behind the chair, I worked in a salon in management for about 3 years. Makes a lot of sense. I recently decided I wanted to be pampered and go to the salon. I found a cute salon with good reviews and booked an appointment. The woman was super nice, but holy shit, it was by far the worst haircut I've ever gotten. I went in wanting somewhat of a big change. My hair was about to my collarbones, and the inspiration board was full of chin-length French bobs. Pics below. I told her that I'm a mom and wanted to be able to pull it up out of my face and wanted to keep it on the longer side. When she was pointing to the length for where I cut, I told her I wanted to keep it longer. I walked out with what I can only describe as a man's bowl cut, pics below. I was panicking in the chair while I watched her chopping it away, shorter than I wanted, and as she styled it, she told me I looked like an 80s athlete. I don't know where the miscommunication happened, but we weren't on the same page or even reading the same book. I got in the car and just lost it. Here's where I think I'm the bitch. The next morning, after stewing in my emotions, I left a bad Google review that was pretty snarky.
Here, want me to read the Google review?
Please.
Hold on one second. Okay, so here's the Google review. Worst haircut, 1 star, obviously. And the price is, by the way, between $160 and $180 for the haircut.
Okay.
Worst haircut of my life. Walked in wanting a cute 90s bob with bangs. Walked out looking like I had a 70s bowl cut. Way shorter than I wanted and nothing like the inspiration pictures. Now I can only hope it grows fast. Can't even put it in a ponytail while I wait.
Ooh, okay. And I felt so guilty about it that I took it down around 4 p.m., but apparently the damage was done because a few hours later I got an email from the salon and the stylist apologizing and issuing me a refund. I feel like I was a total bitch and let my emotions get the best of me. Looking back on it, I could have reached out and talked to them instead of taking things straight to Google and really wish I had. Let me know what your thoughts are, ladies. Did I take it too far? Thanks for all you do and being a ray of light in the clusterfuck that is our current world. Megan. P.S. Here's all the pictures. The one of me is immediately after leaving the salon, so it's how she styled it.
I'm going to email her back and see if she'll let us post the photos, maybe with her face blocked or something.
I'll block her face, but I'd at least love to post the photos of the haircut, so I would love to actually genuinely ask her if we could.
But here's the thing. You're so nice you even took it down because I didn't think it was that bitchy of a review. The review was like, yeah, I asked for this and I walked out with not what I asked. It was shorter than I wanted and I brought pictures and it wasn't that. Hope it grows fast. That's it. Like, you didn't say, like, I mean, worst haircut of my life is pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it could be so much worse. You could be like, unprofessional. I was not listened to. I mean, I don't know. I thought you pretty much said what happened and then you took it down. When you say the damage was done, no, the damage would have been you keeping it up.
Correct.
And so they came to you, they realized they fucked up, they gave you your money back.
Because you know that nobody else, because usually people, especially like if you're getting reviewed on Yelp or something as someone that has worked for a business, you get updates when someone writes a review. So you know usually,
yeah,
so usually go and check
you took it down within not even 24 hours.
Right.
So it's not going to affect their business.
I'm sure most other people didn't see it unless anyone looking in that direct time period. Also, many Google reviews exist, and sometimes it's not always the last one that was posted that goes to the top, just as a way to assuage some of the guilt that you have.
Yeah.
Because while I agree with you, Kara, you're right. It wasn't that bitchy of a review. I'm just so, as someone that has worked in customer service before, to me, and as someone that on that side of it, I would be so devastated by a review like that I find myself as a people pleaser scared of writing reviews.
I know.
So that's why, Megan, I do feel good on you that you did do it because you were upset. They didn't listen to you.
Not everybody is the pick up the phone and call and kind of do confrontation thing.
Right.
Which I get.
But at the same time, as someone that has talked to many people that work in styling businesses, as someone that, like, if I have a bad haircut, like you, what do? I go home. Usually I don't write a review. I just go home and I cry about it and I wear a hat until the hair grows out, which is what I
think because women are too polite.
But this is what I'm saying. Most stylists that I've talked to and most people that have worked in hair and makeup are like, don't do that. The person wants to know if they did a good job or not. Please don't do that. That is the opposite of what most stylists want, is for you to leave unhappy. So it is so important to effectively communicate, hey, I'm not happy with this, but I'm saying this as a person that really struggles with this myself. We should be able to say, this is not what I asked for, and I'd like it to be different, or I'd at least like some kind of like percentage off because now I have to wait for this to grow back in. Because unfortunately with hair, sometimes you just kind of have to wait for it to grow back in.
If there's something they can do to fix it, that's cool, but if it's too short, there's really nothing they can do.
It's really too short. But
it just also, it's like, I understand too, and so does Megan probably because they went to beauty school or whatever.
Right.
Like, sometimes people are like, I want this, and it's like impossible to do with your, like, I would never go into a salon and go, can you give me like wispy bangs like Jackie? Like, my hair will not do that. And like, I've had hairstylists go, No, I don't actually think that would be good for you. Like, and I'm like, okay, great. Like,
And I go
like,
with
let's
what they
talk
say,
about that.
yes.
And if they say, and if the customer insists, then you can go, okay. And you give the customer what they want, but like if they're not happy with it, you're like, I did consult you that you didn't have the right hair type for this, you know? Like it is kind of a subjective, right? Kind of business where...
And with how they receive that, weirdly enough, last time I was getting my wangs cut, it was my wangs, my wispy bangs. There was like she was in the middle of, because she's also like the person that does my hair also dyes hair, and she was in the middle of correcting someone's because she had like even whispered at me a little bit of like she wanted this thing, and I told her that it wasn't going to look good, and then she was like, I want this thing, and then I did it, and it didn't look good, and then she was upset with me, so I'm trying to redo it, and she was like trying to like trying to fix it, and what do you do? It's like also you expect a stylist to say, hey, I think that wouldn't work on you, right? So a stylist does expect a client to be like, hey, I think this isn't working. But I've also been in the chair watching them chop and chop and chop and not have said anything.
Especially when like you're like, I'm a mom, I want to be able to pull it back. That should be pretty standard to go, I'm cutting it too short to pull it back. So you're fucking up. And for $160 to $180, this ain't a supercuts.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to a place where you're spending. So I don't
I'm
think
happy they issued the refund. I think that
Me too.
I think that's great. I think that is good like business practice. I guess I don't think that you ruined their business though. I don't think that you should really hold this against yourself. I think that, you took it down already. It's already done.
Yeah.
It's more.
I kind of feel like I've only ever left a bad review if I've spoken to someone there and then they haven't like made any kind of reparations or rectified it.
Yes.
Right? Like, so if you had gone to that, maybe what would have made you feel better and everybody feel better is if you had gone to them and said, you know what, I left yesterday because I didn't really feel like saying anything, or like even an email, because I understand if you didn't want to call.
Yes, exactly.
Like I really like, I didn't want to leave a bad review, so I'm just coming to you guys or whatever.
Just
and if they're like, well, beauty's object, like then you could just write and go, I had a stylist there that did not listen to what I said, and I got a haircut that I was not satisfied with. That's that. I think
and
that's
see
the next
what
step.
they do.
Yeah,
and see if they offer any kind of compensation.
Yeah.
But that is so that's the one step. That's the one minor like in between step that I would have done. But
you can all
didn't
feel
ruin
free
them.
also to go to our Apple Podcast or Spotify pages and leave good reviews for us.
You can leave good reviews
love
there.
that.
Yes, we love it. Or if you want to write about how bad of haircuts we give you, I guess then we can show like, well, at least it's not about the podcast,
Yeah.
At least they're not saying bad advice. It's just you don't want a haircut from me.
Nah. Okay, we'll see.
Although
if we can,
I am starting to try
We'll see if we can hold the picture, show the picture, but I did see it, and it is not what she also set the reference images, and they are not the same.
Not it.
Okay, let's listen to this next voicemail.
Okay.
Thank you for calling. Who's the bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, ladies. I am calling because I have a very low stakes situation involving my husband of almost 20 years. And I was going to call, I was so excited because I was going to call into the live show. I thought it was tonight. And then I realized listening to this week's episode, it is in a month. But honestly, I just need to do this now. So here's the deal. We have overall a very good relationship. He's a very nice guy. He's very funny. Like I said, we've been married for 20 years. Great guy. However, we have this new situation. It's not really new. It's actually been like for a while now about sleep. We have a very large king-size bed. I'm looking at it right now in our lovely home. And what he does is he says, I want to snuggle with you because I like to hold you. And I don't really like that. And I'm like, that's fine. Just make sure you're on your side of the bed like later on after you go to sleep. Ladies, he doesn't. He just stays in the middle of the bed. And it is so hot. And I am 46 years old. And it's just like a sweaty mess. And I just like elbow him in the middle of the night. I'm like, just move, just get over. It's like two people sleeping in a twin bed. And I'm like just elbowing him. And then he gets mad at me the next morning. And he's like, why are you so mean to me? Do you not love me? I just want to hold you. You are so mean in the middle of the night. I have to elbow you because you're asleep. And also, I am so hot. His head was on my pillow last night.
No.
I cannot explain enough how sweaty this makes me. So, ladies, who is the bitch? Am I the bitch for not wanting more snuggling and holding in the middle of the night? Is he the bitch for not moving back to his side of the bed? Or honestly, perimenopause the bitch because I am sweaty and I don't like being touched, and being in your 40s kind of sucks sometimes. Anyways, I love the show, ladies. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
And this caller did call back to let us know that her name is Megan. So this is our second Megan of the episode.
I love
another Megan. Megan, girl, you are me. I am you. I mean, even my husband like rubbing my back in the night. I'm like, you're waking me up. Stop doing that. And he goes, you're so mean if I wake you up. And I go, yes. Because I'm so tired. And I get like 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, and you're bothering me. I already wake up from your snoring. I already wake up from you going to the bathroom a bunch of times. And then you want to touch me?
And you want to touch me? How dare you?
I feel like and men do not get this because, like, you know, you do start to get to an age where you're just like so sweaty and you're like, so I think maybe you should just like have a conversation, not in the middle of the night, not in the morning when everything is like you're debriefing from the night. Like, have a conversation regular part of the day where you're like, listen, let's talk about the sleeping thing. We have a king size bed. You've been married 20 years. I can't believe he doesn't know this. You're like, I do need my own side of the bed and to sleep
or maybe
comfortably. I just don't like touching.
Yes.
So what can I do to give you what you want? Can we snuggle a little bit before we go to sleep and have some little touches and some back rubs and some massages, and then we retreat to our sides of the bed? Because the spooning is not working for me,
Not doing it.
And I do love you, and it's not about you. I don't want anyone to touch me. Like, I don't want insert guy I think is hot, famous celebrity, to be spooning me and holding me in the night. It's too hot.
Just too hot.
Yeah.
And I imagine, I would assume it's getting torqued up with the perimenopause as well. So maybe this wasn't always quite an issue, and now it's like becoming a larger issue the sweatier we get as time ticks on. My problem is with all of these kinds of stuff, as someone that has also a large, very heat production having husband that loves to cuddle.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've just given in. He's just a big old golden retriever. And I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna.
But you're 30 something.
That's the thing. And I haven't hit that yet. And I haven't hit it. And that's why I was starting to think of like, but if I were laying in the bed in the middle of the night sweating, and then he tried to talk, I'd be like, get away from me.
I think it's just like, you just have to be like, babe, as soon as I hit menopause, this will be over, and maybe I'll be back into snuggling. But for now, we need to, his head on your pillow is unhinged. Like, no.
Yeah, that is.
A pillow is for one damn head. No.
I also do wonder, though, like in part of this conversation too, that it must mean a lot for him in connection time. So it's like, rather than just being like no, you don't get your cuddle, you're right. I think it is that, how do we make this work for both of us?
Yeah, morning snuggles, nighttime snuggles.
Like adding in snuggles in other ways, because you don't want to just take away the connection that obviously he's getting from you and wants to receive from you, which also, I feel like part of the reason why I think that, even if he wants to cuddle, I'll just deal with it, is because I have been in relationships where I was so desperate for someone to like love me, to want to be touching me all the time, that like I remind myself that I'm happy that he wants to touch me all the time. I'm happy that he wants to cuddle me all the time. And it's reminding myself too, even when I get annoyed, of like, for me personally, this is the kind of connection that I'm asking for. So also, rather than just denying him, it's how do we make this work for both of us?
Because at this point, they've been together 20 years.
Right,
it's like
you made it work, but there's something, like, I think that in adding in the middle of the night, like you said, like trying to push him over, that, sometimes I am trying to cartoonishly move a mountain in the middle of the night where my husband is in the middle of the bed.
I would rather have sex more often. If I have sex, we go to your side of the bed.
You go to your side of the bed,
and then I get to have my own pillow
the whole
for the night.
Side of the bed. That would be great.
I mean, yeah, you don't want him to think that after 20 years, like, the magic is going away.
Right.
You're like, no, it's just, I'm sweaty. Please back away.
Or is it that, like,
I begged for a king size bed. He wouldn't let me do it.
Not even that. And like, part of and this is the sad side of it as someone that doesn't have children, that I'm like, I don't want a king size bed. It'll make you so far away.
I know, you've said that
you're
before.
So
and I'm
far
like,
away.
Oh, God.
And you're like, if I fucking wish. Oh, God, that would be great to be that far away from him. So that's why I think that like doing this in a delicate manner rather than a like, I am done with this kind of way could create, you know, a more effective communication.
Yeah,
in
try
this.
not to make it feel like a rejection, but more of a collaboration of how can this work for both of us.
Because you wouldn't want to be rejected.
You are not moving over and I can't move your body and it's too sweaty and I have no space and I can't sleep.
Is there a world where you're like, okay, you're touching on me and you're cuddling on me, let's bang it out real fast so that we can turn to our both sides. You know, it's like, is there a let's bang it out real fast? And then you go to your side, I'll go to my side once you're like good and drained. You know, I feel there's something to that too. Let's torque it up.
Well, you shouldn't have to do that if you don't want to.
I'm not saying don't. I'm saying if you want to.
For me too, I'm like, is this jokingly, is this a barter that I go to the other? Get out of my area. But yeah, like, I think of the bed as a 50-50 zone a lot of the time. I'm like, get on your side. You're on my side. I'll wake up in the night and go, move over. You're not.
What is the strategy too that I feel like I've seen like on a lot of TikToks and stuff where it's a specific, I'm going to fuck this up, like a Nordic tradition or something, where both sides of the bed, like you have your own comforter, you have your own pillows, like you're in the same bed, but you're not sharing any of the blankets. So it is like a separate zone for you. So you're not even So it's like, even if then you can push him to the other side and he's got his own blankets and everything, his own setup to go to. I can't
do that. He has to warm up my feet every night. My feet are freezing.
See, this is the problem. Then we rely on them. Yeah. And then we want to deny them their cuddles.
I go warm up my feet and get back to your side of the bed.
And then get over there. Do your job that you're here to do, and then get.
No, but I do what I think you guys should be doing is like, we'll do a little cuddling before bed, and then I go, okay, good night. But I will say, we're not having sex.
Yeah,
if I don't feel like it, I'm like, throw that out just there. So you know, we can do. Sex. I will scratch your back right now or do whatever you want, but we're not going there. He's like, got it.
Also, I will throw it out there as someone that Jeff used to like to cuddle on our way to falling asleep, but it was difficult for me. And now we just cuddle for a while, like you were saying, and he ends up staying up reading on his phone, and then I turn over and go to sleep. If you could set up one of those kind of situations where you do a little cuddle and then, okay, then you finish up your nighttime routine and I'm going to go right to sleep.
I'm sure you can figure this out, Megan. Let us know what happens.
But let us know, and I love this situation.
I love it. Okay, let me read this next email from one of our listeners. And I cut out a little bit of backstory because this was a long one. Okay. But I'll try to... Hey, Kara and Jackie, I love your podcast because you both managed to give realistic advice for some pretty fucking crazy problems, sharing a high-stakes situation that's been eating at me. My mom and I have had a difficult relationship for my entire life. I'm 31 now, and over the years, we've had periods of no contact, blocking her, reconnecting, and trying again. My dad was the stable parent. Honestly, he felt like the only adult in my life and acted like a buffer between my mom and me, but looking back, he didn't prepare me for life without him and coddled her. And then my mom comes from a deeply dysfunctional family where money, resentment, and favoritism have poisoned basically every relationship. Essentially, this writer's grandfather had a business, gave the whole business to one person, then that person died, then it went to another brother, then that person died, and now it has gone to her mother, I believe. So she goes, basically, my grandparents left some money to the family, and now all the original executors of my grandmother's estate are dead. Not to mention, we found out my grandmother refused to pay taxes for years, so basically, it's a legal disaster.
Oh, no.
Everyone is fighting over, and this is all the cousins, I guess. Everyone is fighting over what's left of an estate worth less than $6 million, assuming there's even much left after taxes and the last 10 plus years of legal fees.
Whoa.
So that's the backdrop. She says, I'm not even calling about the money. It's made that family cruel, and I'm just not interested, though a few $1,000s would really change my life. Here's the actual situation. My cousin Bill and his wife Pam recently had a baby after years of infertility. Instead of being happy for them, my mother has apparently been calling, texting, emailing, and harassing them nonstop. According to them, she's sending cruel messages about their parenting and their child. Pam even posted publicly asking people not to share the personal information with my mother because she feels stalked. I've attached the post for you both to view. And the post says, if you are related to husband and follow my account, please read. I'm posting this publicly because I have no way of knowing who has been sharing my posts or information about our lives. There is a family member who has struggled with serious mental health issues and has harassed us with unfounded accusations for years. Recently, after someone shared my post, she emailed husband, calling me a horrible mother and saying his late father would be ashamed of how we're raising our newborn. This is completely unacceptable. Please stop sharing anything about us with her. It fuels ongoing harassment and delusions that have already caused real harm to our family, including during my previous miscarriage. Wow.
Oh my God.
She needs professional help and support, not updates about our lives. Please respect our privacy. Okay? So that's the post from the cousin's wife. Okay? And the writer writes, considering what I've experienced from her, I don't doubt their version for a second, but I feel absolutely hopeless to help. The problem is that I know my mother. If I confront her or tell her she's abusive, I genuinely think she'll escalate and make their lives worse. She doesn't respond to shame or accountability. She responds by doubling down. She responds with cruelty. I have not seen her since August of 2023 when my dad passed away. Mostly that is because of my own issues with her, but at this point, having any kind of relationship with her makes me feel complicit in her behavior. I feel guilty watching this happen and pretending everything is normal between us. So my question is, am I the bitch if I go no contact with my mother permanently without explicitly telling her the reason is how horribly she's treating my cousins? Part of me feels like a coward for not confronting her, but I also truly believe it will only make it worse by contacting her about it. I do not speak to my cousins regularly and don't feel comfortable reaching out to them as they are trying to cut my siblings and me out of my grandmother's will.
Jesus.
I don't feel any hostility towards them. I just don't want to side with them against my mother because of the long history. I kind of just want to bow out of the family completely. Final points in case you have questions.
Oh my God.
My sister won't touch this for the same reasons I've listed. She lives in the same state as my mother and they hang out for her kids' birthday parties but don't have a deep relationship.
Okay.
My brother lives with my mother but is severely schizophrenic and not medicated, so he's working on himself and can't help. My mother has suffered from depression for a while, has also suffered, quote unquote, they wrote, from menopause for the last 25-ish years. She's 65 now.
Okay.
I don't think menopause lasts 25 years.
No.
But I went back to her because I miss having a mom. She still answers the phone and can be empathetic, but she will use what you've told her against you. For the first time, I've gotten a new number and I think I'm not going to share it with my mom. Looking back, my dad 110% enabled her behavior. He apologized for her to me all my life.
Oh,
Thanks for reading this. I am Caroline, or Freckled Free in chat. So
thank you so much for
thanks
sharing
for sharing. This is so complicated because at first I was like, oh yeah, you should just reach out to the cousins and say, you guys should block her in all ways that she can get in touch with you. And I'm about to block her and tell her that it's because of you guys. But you don't actually want to reach out.
Right.
Because you don't want to be in contact with them because of all this inheritance
all this
stuff.
other stuff.
But you don't. I mean, you haven't talked to your mom in 3 years, really. But you call her once in a while.
I just, not even to be like this, my first thought with that was too, you don't want to be bringing any kind of thing on paper down that like, because you even said like, a few thousand would definitely change my life, of like getting in any kind of negative way in what is like all of them ripping apart whatever is left of this estate. And I completely understand, like, even when you said like you went back to her because you miss having a mom, and that makes complete sense. And I understand why you wouldn't want to talk to your cousins about it. I understand why you still have her in your life, even though at a distance. It does all make sense. It is, what she's doing is inherently completely wrong. And I would hope that your cousins by now have blocked her on every
that's the thing.
platform.
It's like if you're not the one sharing stuff with your mom, like what they're talking
Then I
about,
think
then you're not complicit in this.
You're not.
You're not complicit for not standing up to a mom
because
who
you're not
clearly
going to
has
stop her. She obviously
some
has
mental stuff and
mental
emotional
issues.
stuff.
Yes.
So you're not complicit. Step away from the cousin situation. Just file that away as another thing you can just add to the list of things that your mom does that are emotionally unstable and not okay.
Yes.
And then I think examine your relationship with your mother.
Correct.
Going no contact with your mother should be about what your mother is doing to you, not what
Correct.
she's doing to your cousins who you're not particularly close with, even though it is unhinged what she's doing. I think what you need to do is go, is this relationship with my mother like hurting or helping me? If you're okay with the way it is now, with once in a while calling her, what did you say? You said
She
about
still answers the phone and can be empathetic.
you haven't seen her physically since 2023, but you talk once in a while. If that relationship kind of works with you, and just being able to have a mom that listens to you once or twice a year on the phone is enough for you, then I think keep it.
Keep it
If
because
you
it
think
works
that
for you.
she's using things against you and she's involving you somehow in this war with the cousins, that's a different story. But the cousins issue is their issue with her, and you need to just go off of like your issues with her.
Correct.
And I don't like hearing that you think she uses what you tell her against you. I think you should be careful what you tell her. But if it makes you feel comforted, even just to call her once in a while and go, I just saw this movie, it wasn't that good, and you just chat with your mom for 10 minutes, then keep it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of family no contact blocking going on these days that I believe, like people say about ADD, right? They go, it's overdiagnosed and underdiagnosed. Like a lot of people have it and should be on medication, and a lot of people don't have it and don't, but are on this medication, whatever. I think there's so many people that I absolutely don't disagree with blocking out family. Like just because people are related to you, they can be toxic and
Correct.
you can get them gone. But I think we've seen examples of people that are blocking for reasons like without communication. They're blocking for reasons that feel like we're encouraged by other people or outside groups have told them block your family. And so I just want to make sure that
That's what
you're
you
not,
want.
that you want to block her because you feel like she's detrimental to you. But if this arm's distance relationship that you're having with her is good, keep it. If the cousins reach out to you and are like, help us, she's making our lives a living hell,
Take it from there.
take it from there. But it sounds like they're putting a public post up, asking people not to share posts. I think if it's
And
going
you're
to
not,
keep
I'm
bothering them,
assuming.
they're going to have to stop sharing posts or stop being
But that's
followed
on
by
them.
Yeah.
Well, that's on them. That has nothing to do with
another
you.
thing. I mean, like, that's totally crazy. You should never be telling a new mom anything like that. That's so nuts. But your mom's obviously going through something. So I'd say at least also until this whole inheritance thing is sort of like settled. And, you know, it's all, once the dust has settled on all of that, which sounds like it's a legal nightmare, but I wouldn't say you need to use this cousin thing as a catalyst to cut off your mom.
No.
You look inside yourself and say, actually,
I need to do this
every
for me,
conversation
or-
leaves me upset. Every time I talk to her, she uses it against me. That's a good reason to go no contact
Yes.
or whatever, you know?
But make that decision for you.
Yeah. And
let us
don't give
know.
her your new number. Give her a Google Voice number. She can reach you, but like, right? Isn't that how Google Voice works? It's like, it's not your real number. So like you can arrange for someone to call you on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
it's
know
not,
that.
but it's like a not
like a tethered
yeah,
number.
it's not like they can text you to it. They can't like
Oh.
harass you to it because it's Google. Like,
Oh,
I
wow.
think, I don't know. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think you could call her from Google Voice. You could go, something's up with my phone, whatever. It doesn't sound like you're talking to her enough where she'll go, what's your new number?
Right.
But I do think it's fine if you keep your phone number away from her.
Yeah, I think that's completely acceptable.
And if she asks why, I can go, it sounds like, I mean, you could go, I think that I've heard you've been using the phone to harass other members of the family, and I don't want that.
Right.
Unless you, I mean,
Well, take it. I mean, take
she's
that.
going to double down. She's going to rage. I don't know. It sounds like there's plenty of reasons to not talk to her. But if it's working for you to talk to her sporadically, just on the phone is easier because you're done
And you can
hang
hang up.
It's not visits. It's not being trapped.
Yes.
You know, like
It's
so,
not it's something that you can easily separate yourself from when you're done with the conversation.
Yeah. And
So-
I hope you can talk to someone also professional because this is like a
Please.
lot of heavy family
Please.
shit.
And also it seems like that I'm assuming your mom is either misdiagnosed or not diagnosed with like in the way in which that she is acting right now. So I would also just say, I do hope that you're talking to somebody about all of these ins and outs because this is a very heavy
this is
situation.
a personality disorder for sure. That is, I'm not going to diagnose what it
No,
is, but
yeah,
it's not.
because-
It's not 25 years of menopause.
No.
It's probably depression mixed with like some personality disorder stuff. 'Cause
Something.
This behavior is combative and unhinged.
Yep.
But let us know what happens, and I hope
We wish you the best.
you figure it out, and I hope she leaves your poor cousins alone.
And
too.
thank you for being in chat.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to our next voicemail.
Thank you for calling. Who's the bitch? Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, guys. My name is Kira. I am a longtime That's Messed Up listener and a more recent Who's the Bitch listener, but happy always to hear from Kara.
So here's my situation. I am getting married in the fall, and I am so excited. It's going to be great. My best friend is being my co-maid of honor with my sister, and she's wonderful. And my best friend actually introduced me to my fiance, like almost 10 years ago. They grew up together. We went to like middle and high school together. So they are close, and I'm close with her, and it's a really great situation. The problem is that when we started dating, when we were first introduced, she was dating someone, and she dated that guy for 8 years. So over a year ago now, they broke up. And so that was kind of tough because they broke up right after we got engaged. And just like the fact that we had done so much as like a foursome, I felt bad like having her feeling like she had to third wheel. But we were really supportive during her breakup, and everything was great. I didn't really feel like I had to think much about the wedding and like a wedding date for her until she started dating someone new. And then I was like, okay, perfect. She's got a date for the wedding. Everything's good. Unfortunately, she broke up with that guy. And so a year ago, she broke up with this man who she was with for 8 years. 6 months later, she dates someone for about 6 months. Now they're broken up. Problem is, my fiance is saying we shouldn't have anybody bringing a +1 to our wedding except for people that we know. All of the +1s that are happening are people whose names we're putting on the invite or people who are long-term relationships. And he feels pretty strongly about that. I, on the other hand, am a lot more empathetic to my friend's situation. And I know, like, as someone who is an anxious person, like, has social anxiety and stuff, and I know that she can be as well, that, like, having somebody with me, like, I went to my brother's wedding. My fiance was out of the country, and so I brought one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And so I very much understand her, like, just wanting to have somebody, and she's got, like, a gay friend she wants to bring. But my fiance, because he's known her for so long, and he is, like, inviting all these people from their high school and stuff, he's like, oh, I want her to mingle and, like, talk to people and, like, have a great time, and, like, she shouldn't bring a date because then she'll just be talking to them the whole time. My parents are like, oh, she's maid of honor. She's already got, like, a lot of stuff to do. Like, I don't think she would be upset about not bringing a date. But I feel so bad to tell her she can't, because I think she kind of just assumed that because she was going to bring the boyfriend, that, like, first she was saying that she still wanted to bring the ex, even though they had broken up, which we all kind of know is a bad idea. But now she's saying that she wants to bring this gay friend. And I'm totally cool with it. And I don't think it really matters, but my fiance is a little bit more on the other side, and I understand where he's coming from. And also, like, our numbers, every plate costs money, so, like, it feels, I don't know, that's not really what it is. It's more just, like, the emotions of it all and not being on the same page with my fiance. I think he would be fine with, like, just letting it happen, but I also, like, I do agree with him that, like, we agreed that we weren't going to have +1s that weren't serious relationships, and so we should follow through with that. I just have so much empathy for her. So, and would I be the bitch to say, like, hey, I'd rather you just don't bring a +1, or would I be a bitch to say to my fiance that just, like, hey, she's going to bring a +1, fuck off. I don't know. I wouldn't say it like that, but you know what I mean.
Or if you do, you know?
Other piece of context is every other girl in my bridesmaid party has a date, but my sister doesn't. So she's co-maid of honors with my sister. My sister doesn't have a date, but all the other girls do. So I feel like her and my sister can hang out. They can wing woman each other, like, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I want to know y'all's take because it's a weird and nuanced situation. Anyways, love you both. I don't know how to end a phone call where it's not like a real phone call. Bye.
Oh, God, sorry. It started playing again.
That's how you end it.
message.
Now that's how you end it. Play
oh my
it again.
gosh. Hi, Kira. Always nice to hear from a Tommy. Okay, listen. I mean, my rule was always no +1s unless you're married, engaged, or living together. And like, I made a couple of exceptions for people that were in long-term relationships but not living together. And they were like, hey, is it okay if I bring my girlfriend who you know? And I'd be like, of course.
That's my only thing, is that I feel, while I understand the rule, I feel that there are exceptions to the rule.
And exceptions would always go for like a best friend, a relative.
I'm talking a co-maid of honor.
But
I think that you should talk to your friend to find out. Because here's the thing. Have a genuine conversation to be like, yo, I understand if you want to bring a friend to have with you, to dance with, completely get it. But look, you and my sister are both going to be solo. Would you love to roll solo and go out and be like, I'm going to get laid tonight? Or is this a wedding filled with people? I specifically asked one of my besties who was single when my wedding was happening. I said, would you feel more comfortable bringing a friend to be with you, or would you rather roll solo so that you can go and clean up and try to smang some strange at the wedding? And she was like, I'd rather bring someone to dance with if that's okay. And I said, cool, got you. But she was literally the only person allowed, because I had asked my other single friends that I was concerned about the same thing. And most of them were like, oh, I'll just roll by myself. I'm good. But we did have that conversation because I wanted her to feel comfortable. And because she's friends with all of my friends. So I'm like, you know who's going to be there. So you know you're most likely not going to be smanging any strange. So
I was going to say, like, the rule is, for me, was married, living together, or engaged. But then I made a bunch of exceptions. And like, my rule was no kids or whatever. Or I know people that have said no kids except for the bridal party. Like, they're allowed to bring kids.
It's literally your wedding. You can do, if you want an exception, you're allowed to make an exception.
Yeah.
No one else is. You and your fiance are allowed to, though. Because I get both sides of it. I get your fiance and where they're coming from. I get where you are coming from. I get the even thinking about this whole thing of like, oh, they're co-maids in honor and you could both be like, and then they could walk them together down the aisle too, and then you don't have to worry about any of that.
I mean, because I invited a friend to my wedding who was from a part of my life where I wasn't really inviting a lot of other friends. Mm-hmm. So she knows a lot of my friends from other parts, but she wasn't coming knowing anyone else.
Yes.
So I said, why don't you bring a +1? And she brought a girlfriend of hers who I know. Not a sexual, like a friend.
That's what happened with my friend.
Absolutely. She goes, can I bring so-and-so? And I go, yeah. Because
great.
You know what it was? I invited her with her boyfriend and he couldn't come. And I go, just I want you to not travel up to my wedding alone. Come to a wedding where you're sort of, hi, how are you? 5-minute conversation, acquaintances with a bunch of my friends. And you actually have someone you can like room with and all this stuff.
But
in this situation.
And remind her too, because you're also right. The family member that was like, also though, she's going to be really busy. She might not want to have to keep checking in on somebody.
This is like a layered conversation.
Right.
Because it's like, I think, does she know your sister's not bringing a date?
Exactly.
Sometimes you feel like, oh, everyone's bringing a date. And it's
then I'm going to be alone.
My sister's not bringing a date. So you could also not bring a date. Like, I think it also is like, it opens you up to, what are the single guys that are going to be there? They might not know that your friend is gay. Like, they might think that girl's taken or whatever. You know, it kind of signals that and by the way, we're not living in like the 1940s where there's like a bunch of like, dances where people have to go and ask someone to dance.
No.
Most of the dancing at a wedding, most of it, maybe 2 songs are slow, and the rest of it is groups jumping up and down and
writhing on each other.
Like a freak show, right? So it's not like, oh, I'm going to be so embarrassed. It's like, no, when they play Lady in Red, you just go to the bathroom or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
you go get a drink.
That's not that big of a thing. So I would say like.
Lady in Red.
I would say.
That's the only slow song I want at my wedding.
You know what I mean? Like, I would say like, hey, so I just want to know, because you don't need to bring your gay guy friend just to have somebody, because again, I brought a gay guy friend to a wedding, but I wasn't the maid of honor.
Right.
Like, you are busy. You're doing a lot of stuff. You're running around. And so if the gay guy friend doesn't know anybody, that's kind of annoying for him.
Exactly.
And then you have all these friends from high school. That's the other thing. I've gone to weddings across the country where I know almost no one at the wedding.
No one.
And I haven't been invited with a +1. And I'm a personality where I'm like, who cares, But I can understand the social anxiety of it. You don't really have that when you have a ton of friends there. Like, you have all these friends that you know and all these people, and she probably knows your family, and your sister will be there. So I think maybe like explaining the situation to her and being and saying like, listen, my fiance kind of doesn't really want there to be people there that he doesn't know. Having said that, you are important to me, and whatever makes you comfortable, I will make it happen.
Yes.
So what do you think?
Yes.
You know?
I think that is really
if she's like, oh, I think a lot of people before they plan a wedding don't really understand that it is expensive.
It is.
And it is like, and you're saying it's not about the money, but like it is a little bit also of like, it's not just everybody gets a partner. It's like you want people there that know you. You know what I mean?
And
like,
especially when they're in the party too, it is like about like where they're going to be when you're up there. Like it's like when you're up there and it's like it is something then like you'd have to take care of. It's almost like having a puppy with you where it's like you have to take care of something the entire time.
And you're responsible for this guy. What if he gets too drunk and like does something like slips on the dance floor and gets a bloody lip? I don't know. Like there's all kinds of crap that could happen with a friend drinking because they don't know anyone else at the wedding.
Yep.
But if she's really like, oh my God, I just feel like everyone's going to be feeling sorry for me that I'm single after so-and-so and I were together for 8 years. Everyone thought we were going to get married. And I just really, really think like, and we're traveling to the wedding and I'd love to be able to bring so-and-so to share a room with me. And great. Then that's like good reasons.
Yes.
But if it's just like, oh, I thought since I had a plus one slotted in, you wouldn't give a shit who I bring. Then it's like a little bit, well, I kind of do. We kind of would like it to be.
We still have to pay for it. So
yeah, well, and like I said, it's paying for it, and it's looking around the room and going, these are all the people that we love. Even though there's some great uncle of Jared's I've never met before, that's somebody from his family.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, not who's this guy? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I see all the sides here.
Please
and I
let
think
us know,
a combo
though.
with your bestie is the best way to do it.
I think so.
Yeah. And seriously, maid of honor, I'd probably be like, Jared, stay home. I'm so busy.
I've got so much shit to do.
Yeah. I actually think when I married my best friends, no, Jared came to that. No, he's come to the wedding where I've been the officiant. Sorry, I was just trying to think.
Oh, no, because then you have to put them to work. I was officiant at a wedding and I was like, Jeff, you have to come with me. I need you to do other things while I have to do other things.
My sister's wedding, too, was like more courthouse with a family party afterwards. And I was like, Jared, you got to stay home and watch the kids. So he wasn't even there. And I was the maid of honor, the witness or whatever, you know? But I was doing stuff. I was busy.
Of course.
You know? So anyway, thank you so much, Kira, for rating. And
let us know how it goes.
Calling in, excuse me.
Yeah.
Jackie, will you please read the last email?
Hi, Kara and Jackie. Love you two so much. Let's get into it. I'm new at my job, and I've been working there for around 2 weeks. Without getting too into the weeds, it's a fast-paced environment with a supervisor-worker hierarchy. Things move fast here. There's also a policy where every update or touch on a file needs to be documented. One of my projects was super time sensitive, and I've been working really hard on it, even outside work hours, because it genuinely needed to get done. Certain parts of the project can't move forward without supervisor approval, so I would leave updates like, if supervisor approves this by Friday end of day, I'll proceed with the next step Saturday morning. Or, if supervisor approves this today, I'll move on to the next step this afternoon. To me, this was just workflow tracking. I'm a planner. I wanted to show I was on top of things and keep everyone updated on what the next steps were. Well, the supervisor basically told me my language was demanding and came across like I was pressuring supervisors to work at a certain pace. Now listen, I kind of see how maybe the wording could be interpreted that way in a super hierarchical workspace. They are really busy, as we all are. I took the feedback professionally, and I'll be more mindful going forward. But then she asked me if this was, quote, an anxiety thing where, quote, I need to know everything that's going on. Girl, I respectfully explained that no, I was just trying to keep the file updated and communicate my progress. But internally, I was like, why are we pathologizing my organizational skills? We're literally almost the same age. I do not want to be gentle parented right now. Anyway, am I the bitch for being secretly so annoyed by this feedback even though I accepted it professionally? Or is she the bitch for turning maybe soften the wording into an unsolicited psychological evaluation? Yours truly, quote, I will proceed with emotional processing if Kara and Jackie approve the submission by Wednesday end of day, quote, thank you.
Well, I love this. I love the sign off.
This is, which also Kara, as someone that has started working with you, like really one-on-one only in the last like year and a half, I find that your professional wording of emails when we first started working together scared me. I was definitely living in a fear of Kara is using professional words and I don't understand it and I'm
Jackie writes me
scared.
emails going, do we want to get the ding-dong zoom zoomy zoom on the cali cow?
It's just like all of my stupid words. And it's like, no, you just use actual proper language to convey something in a professional email. And at first, I was scared of it. And it's good to confess these things. We have to confess these things after a while.
That's such a good confession. I didn't know that.
I was scared.
Well, listen, I think that, first of all, what you're doing is you're kind of going above and beyond because you're promising when someone else does a piece of something
that you will deliver.
You will deliver on the next step.
You've already thought of the next step.
But I think it's like more of a relay and it's like they have the baton now. So I think you should just write on these reports awaiting supervisor approval as of and the date. And that's it.
When you
and if it's
wrote it.
Sitting
Exactly.
There, if it's sitting there 4 days later, that's because it's awaiting supervisor approval. That's it.
Exactly.
You don't need to promise when you're going to work on it afterwards because you cannot do it any further until the baton is passed back to you. So just keep it simple in that sense. And then I absolutely think this is a inappropriate passive-aggressive comment that she made to you.
Oh, it certainly is. It certainly is. And she didn't like it, and she was letting you know that she didn't like it. And it's like, okay, I think that is a little, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I think that you writing these things is just a professional way of saying,
absolutely,
I've done this. But I think that, Kara, you're so smart. Rather than, and I think that this is, I'm going to say it. It's akin to playing with Amber. Playing D&D with Amber. Because in D&D, when you go into a space, you're like, can I investigate the space? What do I see? You ask the DM.
Yeah.
And when Amber's playing, she says, I walk into a hat store. I see a large green hat with a feather on it. I go up to the woman selling the hat. I offer to eat her out to buy the hat. That is literally something that Amber said in D&D. And so this is her explaining what she sees in the situation when in reality, it's the DM that explains the situation when you walk into it, okay? And right now, I think that your supervisor, whoever this person was, saw this and was like, you're telling me that I need to have this done by Friday end of day, which is not what you're doing. But that's what it's being seen as. So that's why, what do? We change our wording. We can't change how this, I'm going to say it, I'm going to say a little a bit of an oversensitive supervisor in this situation. We don't need to take it like that. We can learn from this and be like, okay, Gary, you're so right. You don't write when this is going to be approved by a supervisor. You write when you did this. You did this, and that is when it was done.
Yeah.
And then and anything else that gets done after that, that's on a supervisor.
And you can keep a list of your projects and have pending and the date next to it of like how long it's been pending.
Yes.
And you can whatever, so that you can follow up on stuff. Like I get how I respect as a Virgo who loves spreadsheets. Like I love a pending. I love when was the last time we reached out? When was it, people that can't keep spreadsheets like that, it makes me crazy. But I think if I were to read this language on your post-it, whatever, your file, wherever it's being placed, this language, I would say, oh, this is kind of like an overachiever. This is a person who's like, as soon as I get on to the next step, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Exactly.
And that might be what's triggering this person.
Her. Yes.
And instead of them feeling a little insecure that you're good at tracking your work, they're like, oh, what are you, one of these like anxiety people that needs to know everything? Because nothing about your language says you need to know what's going on. Nothing about that language says what this person suggested. This person suggested that your language is demanding because your language is, but I think
assuming when they're going to get it done.
Yeah,
I think that's what
is assuming when it's going to get done. But I think also saying if it gets done by this time, then I will
do this
or whatever.
But they don't like it,
and they don't like that. But so that's fine. That's fine for them to express. Like, maybe don't hinge your workflow on when the because that's not your fault. That's not really on you. But it also is like, I'm trying to get the project done in a timely manner. And so if it doesn't get, approved then I can't move forward with my next part because you're talking about doing shit on Saturdays
But
here,
I
babe.
think that you are right in saying that, like, I understand that. I don't think you're being a bitch for being so annoyed by this feedback, even though you accepted it professionally. I think that that is the appropriate way to respond, because even if a higher up says something in a way that you don't like the way in which they sent it, it doesn't mean when we are in a hierarchy kind of situation in a workplace, it doesn't mean that you don't still have to kind of listen to whatever
I
they
know.
want,
I think what
you know?
I'm saying is like watch out for this supervisor a little bit,
Yes.
because this supervisor is. There's nothing about your language that says that you need to know everything that's going on.
No.
Your language shows that you are a
go-getter.
overachiever and a go-getter.
Yeah, you're someone
and
that's
as someone that
dedicated.
is the same age as this person, and they see somebody that's like their same age but a lower rank than them, allegedly in your hierarchical society of your thing,
Threatened.
is threatened by you or
Yeah.
whatever. So I would just go, noted, I'll change my language and like move on, and then but watch out for this person, because I think they like have it. They feel competitive with you in some way.
I just think it's crazy because we see so many people, and as someone that used to do a lot of hiring, it is crazy how many incompetent, non-driven people there are that exist
in supervisory positions as well.
Oh, and
In management.
Yep, that moves its way up, that also, and especially when you're not surrounded by go-getters, that someone looking down at you in this manner, rather than if this person were a good supervisor, they would see someone that was looking 12 steps ahead and be like, clocked ya. Okay, great. This is a person
person's willing to do this on the weekend.
This is a
if it needs
person-
to be done.
right.
Once the supervisor gets to it, they're going to do it on the weekend.
do it on a weekend. I would see you as a valuable asset, but that would make her a better supervisor. She doesn't see it like that.
Yeah, because also, what supervisor doesn't want to know that if
What
they
you're going
just
to be
can
doing
sign
afterwards.
off on something, that their employee's ready to pick it up and
Continuing
keep
to-
going?
yeah.
Who doesn't want to know that?
Yeah.
That said, if they find the language is too demanding, they are supervisors and you have to listen
change
to
it.
them. You change it, but you don't need to listen to that's a passive aggressive dig, I think, what she's saying.
That's why keep your eyes out, though.
Keep your eye on the ball.
What's going on?
Yeah, let us know. You've only been there 2 weeks. Keep your eye. Don't trust no bitch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody who wrote in today, the multiple Megans, everyone else. We appreciate you guys
Also,
so much.
throwing it out there, I finally did take a look at the haircut that was in question. That's a bad haircut.
Yeah, it's a bad haircut.
Dude, I'm
It's just
sorry
not
because
what
you
this
are a
photo
very
is.
pretty person. You're
Yeah.
a very attractive person. That's a bad haircut.
Yeah.
They did not give you, and hopefully
They did you dirty.
Hopefully you allow us to block out your face so we can show the haircut in comparison to what you were asking for. Because that ain't it. So thank you.
But yes, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I just started an email to this person being like, "Hey, can we use your
Can we use your pictures?
can we use
want
your photo?
pictures, please?
Thank you guys so much for listening. We love our bitchlings.
Yes, and if you're
Please
listening to this on Wednesday,
tune in tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Thursday, June 11th.
And more, more submissions are always welcome at who'sthebitch.com. Who'sthebitch.com is where you can go as well. Will take you to the YouTube if that's all you can remember right now. And we love hearing from you.
We love hearing from you guys.
Tell a
Yes.
friend. Leave us a 5-star Google review.
Please.
Just kidding. We don't have Google, but leave us a review somewhere
A
else.
review.
And tell a friend. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.